Hey guys, let's learn arc command. As always, this video tutorial will include command usage, exercise, and answer. I'm so excited to teach you guys AutoCAD, so let's get started. Arc command. The shortcut is A, and it is in the draw panel of the home ribbon. To create an arc, we have two methods. The first one is if we have a combination of three information of an arc, we can draw it. For example, if we know 3 points of an arc, for example, first point, any point on the arc as second point, and the third point, then you can draw an arc. And you can also do it with the start, center, end. Start means the start point. For example, I start from here, and then the center point, so center point of an arc, and then the end point. So this is another method. And you can see there are many different methods here. They are the combination of these properties. Okay, so you need 3 information. So we know the start point of an arc, we know the center of an arc, end point of an arc. A means the angle of an arc, the include angle. And counter-clockwise is positive, so this is positive angle. The other direction, clockwise, will be negative. And there's an option called D. D means direction angle. The angle is measured from the positive x-axis counterclockwise to the tangent of the line drawing out from the first point. This direction angle is around 160, I think. And radius, so radius of an arc. And finally, the L, length. Length of arc means from the start point to the end point, draw a straight line and the distance between the two. Okay, so this is one way to draw it. We have 3 information. Another way to draw it is to draw an arc continue from the end point of last line arc or polyline created. Let's get into AutoCAD. So the command is over here. For example, the first method, 3 point. So I select, maybe I click upon here and there, you can see. Or for example, you have a triangle and you want to draw an arc passing through these 3 points. So arc 3 point, first point, second point, and third point. Okay, so that's 3 point arc. And we have, for example, the start point, center point, end point. So if you know the start point, center point, and end point of an arc, you can do that. For example, I draw a rectangle here, and then the arc start, center, end. So maybe the start point of an arc is here. The center point is upper right corner. Now, when you move your mouse, you can see it by default will draw counterclockwise. If you hold the control key, it will be in opposite direction. Release it, by default this is counterclockwise. And then the end point. The end point actually just for defining the include angle. You see, if I click an end point in the middle of a rectangle or at the end, you can see it still give me the same thing. And the arc end point will not touch the point I'm clicking. So the end point here is to define the size of arc, not exactly the end point of an arc. Okay, get the idea? For example, I click here, you can see the end point I click is lower left corner, but the arc end in the middle there. Okay, so click. And then we have the start point, center point, angle. So if you know the start point, center point, and the include angle, you can use this method. So you can see these are all combination of the method we talk about. Why we have so many different methods? The reason is if we have a particular type of information, then we choose the corresponding method to join. It is much better to work with some exercise to see how it works. Okay, so let's go to the exercise. So for this arc exercise, let's do it together. Once we finish all this, I suggest you try do it yourself. Okay, so let's start with this one. So this is a door open 45 degree. So first thing I will do is I will draw a rectangle 30, 800. Okay, and then the arc here. For this arc, look at the information here. We have the start point of an arc, which is here, and center point of an arc, lower right corner, and the angle is 45 degree. So I will use start point, center point, angle. Now it asks me for the start point, so it starts from upper right corner. The center of the arc is lower right corner, and then you input the angle 45 degree. So 45 spacebar. Okay, one more time. I type U and do it. So start point, center point, angle. Now start point, center point. Before you input the angle, make sure you don't put your mouse horizontal or vertical or at the corner here, something like that. If you do so, the output of the arc will be wrong. For example, I put it horizontal like this, and then 45. You can see it give me something like that. This is due to the dynamic nature of the arc command. So undo it. What you should do, select the command, click here, and click here, start point, center point, and position your mouse at any angle. Just don't make it horizontal, vertical. And then type 45. It will be okay. Okay, the second one. Let me hide this one. Here. Another door. This time open 90 degree. So click the rectangle 30, 800. And then again, I'm using start point, center point, angle because I know these three information. Is it possible to use other methods? I think so. It's just that in this situation, I think this one is good. So this is an exercise for you to use other method. Okay. So start point, center point, angle. Start point and the center point, lower right corner. For the angle, this time this is go in another direction, so I type minus 90. Okay. Okay, next one here. I will start with a rectangle 500, 100, and the semicircle. You can see I have the start point and end point of an arc, and I know this is 180 degree. So I can use start point, end point, angle. So this one. And then start point here, end point there, and then 180. If you pick the start point, start from the left, it will draw the arc below. I show you. So select the same command. This time I start from the left and then to the right, and then you can see 180. You can see it goes this direction. Okay, so counterclockwise. So next exercise. To start with, I draw the line first. I can see the line is 45 degrees. So 9, click any point and position 45. To make this work, make sure you click on the polar tracking and select 45 degrees. Okay. So I put it 45 degrees like that. You can see the green line, and I will just type in the 300. Direct distance entry. I control the angle of the line by using my mouse. After that, I just need to input the length. So 300 spacebar, spacebar, finish. And spacebar to repeat last command. Start from this point. In this direction, 300 spacebar and spacebar. And then for this arc, I can see I have the start point, center point, and end point. So start point, center point, end point. Oh, this one. So start point, center point, end point. Okay. For the other one, I delete that. I use the same command but start from this here and center and the end. Okay. Now this one, you can see the requirement here is the arc here is tangent to the line. The other, so this arc, this part, the lower part is tangent to the line, but the upper part here is just touching the line. So this is a design question. Maybe sometime I need to design something. This part will be smooth, but this part just need to be close touching. To create this one, we are going to use the direction method. So let's draw it. Start with the line command, click, move it horizontal 200, spacebar, move it down, make sure 90 degrees, 600, spacebar, and move it horizontal 300, spacebar, and move it up vertical 300, spacebar, and spacebar to finish. And then for the arc, I will select the start point, end point direction. So start point here, and the end point is there. And now I can control my mouse to control the direction angle. You can see if I position vertically, it will give me what I want. So I click any point along the vertical line. So click it. Good. Start from this one. I really suggest you now pause the video and try to do the rest yourself. Okay, I assume you already did that. Let's continue. For this one, you really don't need to draw any construction line. You see, it consists of two arcs. Let's start with the right one. So select the arc, 3-point arc. Click any point as start point. And think of this, the midpoint of this arc here, from the first point, you can see the distance in x direction is 50. In y direction is 200. So I just type in the coordinate 50, 200. This is a point relative to the previous point. The first point you click, 50 horizontal and 200 vertical. And then the next point you can imagine will be somewhere here, which should be minus 50, because going back to the left side, comma, and continue to go up, so positive y. So minus 50 and 200. Okay? And then I will press spacebar, repeat last command. I click this point as the start point. The second point will be somewhere here, which is minus 50, 200. Okay, spacebar, and the third point will just click. Okay. Okay, let's draw this one. Now we didn't talk about the second method of creation, which is the draw arc continue from endpoint of other line. I show you now. For example, you have draw a line. Now if you type A arc command, spacebar, and one more time for the spacebar. When AutoCAD asks you start point, just press spacebar. AutoCAD will continue from the end point of the line you just create, and it will always tangent to that. Okay, so that's how it works. Type the command arc and press spacebar twice. It also works for example, a polyline. For example, arc, spacebar twice, you can see it continue from there. Or it also can start from an arc. So A, spacebar twice, you can see it continue from there. How about in the middle, I draw a rectangle, what happened? Then you type A command arc and spacebar twice. It still continue from the last arc or line or polyline. Okay, and for your reference, the opposite is also correct. What I mean is, for example, you draw an arc first, and then now you type the line command L and spacebar twice, 1, 2. You can see the line will continue from the endpoint and tangent to that line. Okay, so now we can do this exercise. So arc, 3 point, click any point as start point, and then I will draw the middle point, which is 200, 100, spacebar. And the third point will be again 200, minus 100, go down. Okay, and then now I will use the line command L spacebar twice, 1, 2. So now I can get a line tangent to the arc endpoint, and then I can input the length directly, 300, spacebar to finish. After that, I will type MI for mirror and select this line and spacebar and click the middle point. If you don't see the middle point, click over here, turn on the middle point. Okay, so I click the middle point, move it down, click spacebar to finish, and then I will draw the line. Okay, that's the exercise. The next one, a keyhole. Some people may draw a circle and then trim away part of the circle to become this arc and then draw the line, things like that. That's a very fast method using arc. Let's try. So I start with a rectangle, 100, 300. Okay, and then I X spacebar and L spacebar to expose the rectangle, and spacebar to finish, and type E spacebar, erase, select the line, spacebar. So we have this one. Now for the arc, I will use this method, start point, end point, radius. So can see because it's drawn counterclockwise, the start point will be on the right side. So start point, end point, and radius. Okay, so start point here and end point here and the radius. Before you input the radius, make sure you know this information. If you type in 150 now, all you get will look like now what you see in your drawing. It will give you the small portion of the arc. To create the large portion, just like the drawing here, you need to type minus 150. This is defined by AutoCAD, no reason. So just remember this. Minus 150 will give you the large one. If you type 150, you will get the small one. Okay, so I will delete that, and then I hide this, and this one. Okay, so I start with a 9 command, 600, and many users will have problem creating this arc. Let's try. So this one, we know the start point, and we know the center is 200 from the first point. So we have start point, center point, and we know the angle, minus 90 degrees. So start point, center point, angle. Start point, click here. For the center point, I move horizontally, and I input 200 spacebar. Now you can see it is joined with the start point and center. Now I have to type minus 90 to get to the other direction. And then I will select the 9 command, spacebar again, and then input 400 spacebar to finish. Okay. Next one, 200, 200, 200. This can be done by using the divide command. You see, each arc I can create by using start point, center point, and end point. If we divide the 9 into 8 segments, we can easily create this. So 9 command, click horizontal 800, spacebar finish, and then there's a command called divide in the draw panel. And this particular one, it allows you to divide an object into equal parts. AutoCAD will create some points on it. So I select the divide, select, and then I input H, spacebar. If you follow my tutorial and you don't see the point, the reason is you have to change the point definition, the point type. To do that, go to the utility, point style. By default, it is a dot, so you can't see it. I spacebar, repeat last command. But if you select this one, you will get this. Okay? And to snap to the point object, you have to go to the Object Snap button here and make sure the node is on. This is to snap to the point object. So now I will use start point, center point, end point. So start point, center point, end point. And again, this time will be 2. So start point, center point, end point. Again, so this point, start point, center point, and end point. And finally, start point, center point, and end point. Okay? So next one. Now this one, you need to draw an arc, and the arc length is 660. You see, in AutoCAD arc option, there's no arc length. So how to draw it? Let's try. So 9, vertical down 300 spacebar, and horizontal 300 spacebar. And then I can draw this start, center, end. So start point, center point, end point. So this is the start point, this is the center point, and end point, just click anywhere I want. And then there's a command called lengthen, L-E-N, spacebar, and then select the total option by pressing spacebar again. Now it's asking you the total length. I input 660. Spacebar, and then select the arc. You can see it will lengthen the arc and make it 660. You can check the arc length by select the arc and Control 1. So Control and 1. And then here you can see the arc length here is 660. So correct. Delete that and hide this one. And finally this one. So although we learn how to draw arc, how to use it, but sometimes it is really easier to draw a circle and then trim away the extra part. For this one, I will use this method. So instead, I will draw a circle, 300, and then I will use X9, XL. X9 is a 9 with infinity length. So I will touch the circle center and move it down. If you don't see the circle center, you might need to move your mouse near the circle and then go back. You should see it and move it down. Make sure you see the green cross. If you don't see it, just go inside again until you see that. Okay, and then now you can input 100 because I can see this is 100 from the center. And then I will pick upon horizontally, spacebar to finish. And then use the trim command TR and spacebar and select object, select these two objects and spacebar, and then just trim away the extra part. Okay, just like that. So that's all for an arc. Hope you enjoy the video. So bye bye.